I thought that the helicopter had come in to save my husband. And it went in and it come out and shot all those people and did everything else, and still no out.
Both males, both arms, both discharging rounds.
He died within a minute. I listened to him, I think, take his last or second last breath.
I confirmed the deaths of 3 people.
Nathaniel, Gareth and Stacey Train executed a religiously motivated terrorist attack.
Along the dusty trails of rural Queensland, 4 police officers travelled to a property near the town of Tara to check on reports of a missing person from New South Wales. What they walked into instead was an ambush. Within moments of arriving at the Train family property, 2 of the police officers were shot dead by the religious extremist. Kerry Dare lost her husband Alan when he was shot dead by the Trains just moments after arriving on the scene.
Monday to the 12th of December, 22. I usually do my therapy in my pool between 4 and 4:30, and then I get out to a cup of coffee and watch Bold and the Beautiful. I'd gotten out of the pool and we were sitting down having our coffee and we heard gunshots. That's totally normal around here. Al said to me, "That's not loud," because it was definitely an automatic. And I said, "Well, you're going to go see him?" Because I'm not. Probably 45 minutes went past. Al went in and started making silverside and peas and mashed potato, and then there was a big explosion, and there was a lot of smoke. He actually said to me, "You ring 000, I'll ring Vic." And he started ringing Vic, and I rang 000, and then he went and got the car and drove out the driveway and said, "I'll be back." And then I was talking to 000, and Vic come back on his quad and said, "Al's in a bad way." When I go back through now the 000 call, we actually heard the shot of Al being shot on the 000 call. I thought that the helicopter had come in to save my husband. And it went in and it come out and shot all those people and did everything else, and still no Al. If I had known that he was out there laying on the road, I would have gone out there and dragged him home and looked after him, not left him there. Someone needs to explain why they're allowed to do that.
Moments after the 4 officers arrived at the Train's property, the religious terrorists opened fire. Constables Matthew Arnold and Rachel McCrow were killed in what police described as an execution. Minutes later, Alan Dare arrived on the scene to check the property and was shot through the chest by the Trains.
I got told by the police that Al was filming his death 2 days after he died, and we come in and got the video and watched it. He died within a minute. I listened to him, I think, take his last or second last breath, and that satisfied me. That relieved me. The 3rd tree down. That was where the ute was, where the 3rd tree is on the right-hand side. And he got out of the car and he lined up the rifle on the door and shot him.
It was a very, very sad day. I was actually at the home, and to hear the news that there'd been 3 shootings here at Tara, in our region, in the Western Downs. These are things that shouldn't happen in our region. They shouldn't happen in Queensland. They shouldn't happen in Australia. 12 months on, we've moved on as a community. We talk about the vitality and the vibrancy of our community and how that has come back. The resilience of our community, the caring of our community for each other has really brought things back.
The memorial was put here by a friend of mine that we worked with. Alan worked with his wife for a couple of years at Amart, and he's a photographer, and he did this for Al. Well, I have to go past this to go to Chinchilla, and I have to go past the site where they kept me to go to Tara. And it took me a long time to be able to do that, but now I can just wave and say, "Hey babe." And it feels like I should do it every week, not like I should be staying away. And I think that's why I'm staying too, because he's here. He was shot here. This is his land. You know, he died looking at his sky. That's how he considered it. This was his Toy Story sky. He sat and watched Toy Story over and over with the kids, with the grandkids. And when we drove up our road, coming home from shopping, he'd say, "Look, babe, Toy Story sky." He was just... But he had a fucking good woman behind him too.
Police swiftly set up an exclusion zone around the property and called in specialist police. 6 hours after the siege began, Special Emergency Response Team shot and killed the 3 perpetrators.
And our assessment has concluded that Nathaniel, Gareth and Stacey Train acted as an autonomous cell and executed a religiously motivated terrorist attack. What we've been able to glean from that information is that the Train family members subscribe to what we would call a broad Christian fundamentalist belief system known as pre-millenialism. It's a belief system that comes from Christian theology. We don't believe this attack was random or spontaneous. We do believe it was an attack directed at police.
Less than 2 weeks before the 1-year anniversary of the shooting, on December 1, heavily armed FBI agents arrested a man in Arizona in connection to the terror attack.
We know that Gareth Train began following the 58-year-old man on the online platform YouTube. Gareth and the man began commenting directly on each other's videos. Between May 2021 and December 2022, the man repeatedly sent messages containing Christian end-of-days ideology to Gareth and then later to Stacey. The matters surrounding this tragic event on December 12, 2022 remain both an ongoing criminal and coronial investigation.
Everybody come to hell, everybody. He was everything. He was a welder, he was a lumberjack, he was a truck driver, a forklift driver, he was a good dad, good poppy. He didn't think he was smart at all, but he was brilliant in so many ways. Alan's sister was my best friend at school. And I went to play with my best friend at her house, and her brother had just got his licence. And then I went away and had my kids and come back, and I was living with his sister. And that's when we connected again then. And the year after that we got married. It was disgusting the way I had to deal with the process with no support. The world was being told I was getting support from everybody, but I was getting no support from anybody. None. From my family, that's it. It's getting easier. Mind-shattering. Mind-shattering is what I would say in the beginning, but I'm learning their language. I'm learning to deal with things correctly. He probably would not give you the shirt off his back because he only had 3 and he loved them. Maybe me, he might have, but not you. They weren't very warm anyway. Some of the things people have said about him around here are very nice, and I appreciate everything. And that is pretty much, if the townspeople got that that's what they got from Al, from seeing us go in, go to the bakery, go to the butcher's, and if that's what they got from us walking up the street and doing our shopping, then that's what Al was. That's all I can say, because they didn't know him, but they knew him.